Hello, friends. Time for another research video. And today I'm going to do wicker, which is really fun. And I will tell you, a lot of these items are really big. A lot of them are furniture items, but there are also small ones. And I've sold a lot of wicker over the years, and it seems to be really trending and popular. So I want you to keep an eye out for it for sure. Now, here's the thing. I do have a video on how to do freight, which is through UShip is how I've done it traditionally over the years. I'm sure there are other freight companies you can book. I want to tell you, if you get furniture, because I get this asked this all the time, you do have to go on the computer to actually post your listing. What you need to do is put it as local pickup only and freight as your two options. And then in your description, you will put, please contact me with your zip code for a freight quote. And you can also tell them if they are comfortable booking their own freight, they may do that. So then they'll just pay you for the item. They'll pay the freight company themselves direct, or you can have local pickup. And I've had people drive as far as 2 to 3 hours away for items that I've sold that were too large to ship in a traditional manner. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these wicker items. I am very excited to share them with you. First up is a 70s vintage mid-century wicker sunburst 3-panel room divider screen. They did put boho. This one sold for $420. It looks like they charged $100 ground shipping for this one. And I think this is one that I could figure out how to ship. You can Frankenbox. You can put multiple boxes together. And wicker is not overly heavy, which is one of the nice things. So these starburst are really cool, or they put sunburst. I probably would have put starburst, even though they really are sunburst. So you can see they took their pictures outside of this, and this is an excellent sale, and this is something you definitely might find at a thrift store. This one is plastic wicker. So this is a 1960s Lescolona red plastic woven wicker 12-inch bag. It does say plastic handles. $500 sale on this. How incredible is that? And it is in excellent condition for being 60 years old. Don't see many defects on this. I really don't see any at all. Here you can see it is clearly marked made in Hong Kong for Lescolona. So watch for bags that look like this, because I can pretty much bet you that the majority of them are going to be good money. Next is a coffee table, and this is another one that might not be as hard to ship as you think. And this is not going to be overly breakable. It's a nice thing. There's no glass on this one. This is a King Craft Paul Frankel rattan coffee table, mid-century modern round. $450 for this coffee table. And I actually just sold a couple of wicker end tables for $1,000. So they are out there. I got mine from an online estate auction. A lot of times on the online auctions, the furniture does not go very high. So if you buy from auctions like I do, definitely keep an eye out for this stuff. This is a boho chic bamboo rattan 3-tier bar cart. And again, these are out there. This one sold for $341.25. Very cute, very simple, and I feel like you can find these very cheap. It does have a couple of marks there, and you want to make sure to show it. You can see some of the woven part coming off. My table that I sold for a good price, actually, one of the chairs was completely missing that wrap, and it still sold very well. And this cart would be easy to ship for that $341.25. Rattan rawhide handcrafted coffee table. Another one, I'm telling you guys, if there's a will, there's a way. You can ship these. This one sold for a best offer on $515, and this is not something that a lot of people look at and see the money. There, though, is what you want to look for on furniture. Look underneath for markings like this, because you can easily look up makers. You can see this one clearly says McGuire San Francisco, as well as made in the Philippines and the patent number. And this does not look expensive, right? But they accepted a best offer on $515 on this coffee table. This little Jaguar bench is super cute, and it's from the 1970s. They did put MCM and rare, sold for a best offer on $500. Watch for wicker animals, whether it's a bench or just a wicker animal or a wicker animal purse. that stuff sells. And that's actually what made me think of doing this video, as I was doing a research video and showed a pink flamingo purse. And I was like, oh, so I hope you're enjoying this video so far. His face looks kind of creepy. I don't know that I would want this bench in my house, but it is in excellent, excellent condition and sold for a best offer on $500. Well, the price went up and the size went down, and there were quite a few of these in those top selling. I only am showing you this one. This is a 1972 Farnham signed Nantucket Friendship Basket wicker purse with seagulls. $650 sale on this one. And this is the traditional look of these, but there are different items on the top. So this one is in excellent condition. I don't see any flaws. You can see it is signed Farnham 1972. And this was an excellent sale at $650. Another type of basket, and that is a World War II Swiss Army wicker storage cargo ammo leather and canvas bag. $525 sale on this one. This one's pretty neat. I think this one would be cool to keep storage in your living room if you had like that rustic look. Look at the chain on it. Really, really neat. I love this piece. I think this is absolutely wonderful. There is the interior of this, and I feel like this is something you might be more likely to find at an antique mall, but it would be something worth paying up if there was enough profit to be made. Cute is this little set. This is a tiny little wicker set. 2-piece artisan dollhouse miniature wicker, 1/12 scale sofa ottoman. Guys, this little set sold for $689. This was a 7-day auction, got 23 bids, and was started at only $75. So pay attention if you see little tiny wicker too. And I do have a video on dollhouse miniatures. If you have not seen that yet, I will pop that up top for you because it will blow your mind. So this is the cutest little set that I ever did see. Very, very, look at the little pillows. How cute is this? Here you can see it is signed Ray, 2013, set number 4. And it says circa 1880. So maybe they copied 1880 style, but it was made in 2013 would be my guess. And an excellent, excellent sale. $689 for a tiny little wicker sofa. Remember this amoeba shape because there's a lot of amoeba stuff that sells well. So this is an amoeba biomorphic rattan wicker coffee table, tiki, mid-century modern, 1950s France. $750 for this table, my friends. Pay attention. They are out there. I promise you, I find wicker all the time. I just don't have a ton of storage to keep very many wicker pieces in stock, unfortunately. I wish that I did because I would definitely keep more of them. This amoeba shape is absolutely great. They are showing there is wear to the feet there. And tons of pictures. If you're selling a table for $750, take a lot of pictures. That is a really great tip, and this was an excellent sale. I remember when these chairs were everywhere, it felt like. This is a vintage wicker Emmanuel iconic peacock chair, circa 60s and 70s. It does say thrones and queen chair. Sold for a best offer on $794. And I have not seen many of these in the wild, I will say that, but I do remember growing up seeing them a lot of places. This one is very, very fancy. Look at all the details on this one. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And again, pictures outside like we have seen with a couple of other items. That is going to be the easiest way to get the best light on your furniture, I will say, is to take it outside in the natural light. And an excellent sale on this one, best offer on $794. This one is kind of similar to the end tables that I have been selling recently. This is a Paul Frankel stacked rattan side end table, mid-century modern. They did put tiki palm and beach. This one sold a single end table for a best offer on $695. And this one is really, really nice. I like the step tables like that with the multiple levels. And again, a lot of these definitely do not look expensive. You just have to find the right buyer that's willing to pay. This gorgeous vintage white wicker porch swing sold for a best offer on $899. And this is a really neat piece. I would love this on my farmhouse. So if you don't know, I live in a 1942 farmhouse and I have a really long porch. I don't know if I would trust sitting on this thing. I feel like this one might be better just for decor. I don't think I would sit on it. So you can see there's a ton of wear to this one, and it's still sold for that best offer on $899. So sometimes that condition doesn't necessarily hold back the value. I swear I saw one very, very similar to this not very long ago, and I passed it up. So I'm kicking myself a little bit right now. This is a vintage 1970s mid-century modern rattan wicker floor lamp. It is white and sold for $375. I swear I just saw one very similar. So there you can tell that's definitely a vintage style plug without the safety grounding. And this one does not have flaws that I see, which is great for the age of it. And I will say, if I get one and the paint is messed up, I don't think that I would paint over it. Let me know if you think that you would. Like if you found this and a lot of that white paint was chipped, would you attempt to repaint? These baby carriages sold for almost $1,000. How crazy is that? These are Madeleine Williams two-piece antique wicker baby stroller and baby doll carriage, $956. These are really, really neat with the flip top. If I had a baby, I would so push a baby in this. Look, it has like a little storage compartment. You could put baby bottles and snacks in it. These are really cool. These would be really neat to have if you did, I want to say revival, but I don't mean revival, like the reenactments. This would be so cool if you had a baby to bring your baby to the reenactment. Amazing, amazing sale, just shy of $1,000. Cocoa nuts. This is a cool lamp. 27-inch table lamp, Leviton rattan, palm tree coconuts, wicker. They put granny core. I don't know if I would have put granny core. I think I would have put beach and tropical and coastal. Coastal's a good one that I don't remember to use. $1,000 for this lamp. How crazy is that? If these wicker sales are not blowing your mind yet, I don't know what to tell you. This is a really cool lamp though with the coconuts. The construction of this is really cool. You can see again that vintage cord. There's the Leviton on the cord. So I don't know if that's the brand of the lamp. I think that's probably just the brand of the cord. There were a ton of Kate Spade animal wicker bags. I'm just showing you this one. I chose to show you the alligator. I'm a gator fan, so how could I not? This Kate Spade alligator bag sold for a best offer on $1,500. There were a lot of Kate Spade wicker purses. It is a thing that she does, and you need to be aware of it. So if you get lucky enough to come across the Kate Spade wicker bag, you have hit the lotto, my friends. So definitely watch for them. This one is new, sealed in the plastic, but these will sell high used as well. I think most of us by now know that Ralph Lauren means money. This is a Ralph Lauren rattan bamboo chair and ottoman, $1,800 for this. Now, I don't know that it is marked. We will look here. I don't see that it is. So this is one that you would have to identify as being Ralph Lauren via Google Lens. With this cute little parrot, we are up to our top 5. If you get the coconut, you need to have the parrot, I think. This is a really cool lamp. This one sold for a best offer on $19.50. How cool is that? I've never seen anything like this. I absolutely love this. This in a beach house would just be perfect. There is a little coin mark that is identifying this as Mario Lopez Torres. So remember that name as well. Look at the brass on his eyes. This is just a phenomenal piece. Absolutely phenomenal. There you can see that button. This was made in 1974 in Mexico. Mario Lopez Torres. Amazing piece and an amazing sale. This is a Lloyd Flanders 48-inch table with 4 wicker chairs. I just sold a rattan table with 4 chairs. Mine, I want to say, sold for $500 or $600. This set sold for $2,200. And you can tell this one looks very, very well made. It looks upscale. It looks elegant. And I think that this one could be used both indoors or out. Speaking of outdoors, number 3 item is this vintage rattan wicker furniture set, 5 pieces. It is the sofa, the end tables, the coffee table, and a chair, and it sold for $1,700. Again, you can use freight to ship these, and people will pay for it, as well as doing local pickup, and people will drive. So do not be shied away from these just because of the shipping aspect. If you have the space to store these, it's definitely something I would look out for. This set is actually very close to my set I sold for $600. So now I'm wondering if I made a mistake. So this vintage bent wood whitewash rattan table and chairs, they did put Jordan in a question mark because they were unsure of the designer. They did also put Coastal Dining. $2,500 sale on these. These do have wheels on the chairs, though. You could scoot around. Beautiful shell cushions on this one. And this is a really nice set. You can see there with the glass top, which is exactly what mine was. So they're showing a photo of this Jordan Brown, or Brown Jordan set, selling for $4,800, and it does look very, very similar to that, but they have no way of knowing for sure. Ralph Lauren sliding in the #1 place. Surprise, surprise. This is a vintage coastal woven rattan queen sleigh bed by Polo Ralph Lauren, $3,000 sale. If you get lucky enough to find one and you have the room. This is actually in Fort Pierce. I just noticed that. I was just down there last weekend. I wonder if somebody got this off Marketplace. So here, look, this one is marked. You can see that Polo Ralph Lauren. So anytime you see those nameplates on furniture, like I was saying earlier, look at them. Look up the name. This one, I would assume you're going to know Polo Ralph Lauren is probably money. But if it's a name you don't know, definitely take the time to look it up. All right, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed the research. I tried to show you some smaller pieces too for those of you that might not have a lot of space. I think the handbags and the little wicker animals are probably going to be your best bet if you don't have room. But if you do have room, like me, I would keep like one set at a time. Then when it's sold, I'd start looking for a new set to replace it, because I have a lot of space, but I don't have tons of space for furniture. I really, really do appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one.